Grand shining, everyone. It is I, your lovely woman of life and host of podcast, Wisdom of the Week. And before we get started, I want to take a moment to light a lovely incense. This incense that I'm lighting is by my lovely sister friend. Her name is Yolanda. Her business is Yummies. And she has a wonderful line of products for self-love. And considering we are in 2022 self-love now, then I think it would be very beneficial for not just me or you, but everyone to pick up some products from her for your self-love desires, needs, and such. And that incense again is called Love of God. So we got our incense lit. I'm going to give it some good balanced energy. So we got some backwards energy going, some counterclockwise. And y'all know I'm big on being forward movement. And then we got some forward motion energy going, some clockwise, just to get the balance of life going here, because one gear can't flow without the other. And truth be told, none should be. And then we're going to clear out the sound. So I want you to take a moment, because this is going to be interesting. I love the way you speak. Good, we can't do that. Oh, let's turn this focus on. There we go. Sorry about that. Oh, I do this every time I do my podcast. I forget how to make sure that I can see the comments. So let me figure out how to do that, and then we can shift this energy once again. So let's go. No, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Learn more. Info, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I won't show. There we go. Okay, there we go. So I can see the comments now. So just want to give some more clearance, and then take a moment to just inhale. Exhale. We're going to do 2 more deep breaths like that, and then we're going to get into this thing. Another deep breath in. Exhale. And I want you to take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale. And then we are going to shake up this energy. Clear it out. And let's get this party started. Today's topic is, how heavy is your heart? And the reason I asked this question is because we are all, most of us, are speaking and talking about being endowed and indulging in self-love for 2022. And I am more than excited, more than happy about this. And the reason why I'm so excited and so happy about this is because I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, I took my second step into learning to love myself. I initially started my self-love journey back in, I want to say 2008. I started like focusing on loving myself. But it got real intense as time passed, and then it got super intense as I stepped into I want to say it was 2014, 2015, somewhere along that line. And I just really made sure that I was like addressing myself from head to toe, inside and out, and digging into those places where I knew life had done something to me. And along that journey, along that, those beginning stages, I would always hear my father's voice telling me to forgive and forget. And I would always hear my father's voice, telling me that on Judgment Day, the weight of my heart would be measured to that of a feather. And I can admit that for me, I was like, that's so fucking unfair. And I felt like it was unfair because it's like, we're human. Like, we go through things in life. And I was a teenager, I was a child at this point in my life. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's fair because a feather is light. One feather is light. But if you have a bunch of feathers, there's some weight to that feather. There's some weight to those feathers. It makes sense if there was a bunch of feathers because a bunch of feathers has, some competition. A bunch of feathers have been through some things. One feather has journeyed through things with the other feathers. So, all these things and these like shoulda, coulda, wouldas and shit just popping up in my brain. And then as I got older, I was like, okay, I'm not too keen on forgiving people because if I forgive you, that allows you to do this shit again. And then I don't want you to do this again. And I don't want to go through that again. So I'm not going to forgive you. We as Black people have been conditioned to forgive everyone. We are expected to forgive everyone. And as great as forgiveness is, to me, it is also a crutch and it's a cripple at the same time, because for a long time, I felt like, why am I forgiving someone who wouldn't forgive me and knew exactly what the hell that they were doing? Sometimes I still struggle with forgiveness. I'm not going to lie. I'm human. Let's be honest with ourselves about this. So recently, some things happened in my life. And when I say recently, I mean like Christmas and New Year's holidays. Some things happened in my life and I was extremely upset about the shit that happened. Like, how dare you? How could you? And I had been holding on to so much hurt, so much pain, so much frustration, so much like, why would you even choose to hurt somebody the way you hurt people, whether it's intentional or unintentional? And I thought for a split second, I know I'm not the only one going through this. So that was my thought process when I started my self-love journey. And then I reached out to the person that I felt had hurt me so bad. And I told them, like, hey, I forgive you. I don't want this on my heart. I don't want this on my mind. I don't want this on my spirit. And I was like, that I have better things to focus on. I have more important things to focus on versus what you caused and I partially allowed to happen. And as I was going through my healing stages after I acknowledged that and I learned to forgive and to forget part of what happened. this topic came about. I was talking to a friend and we were talking about podcasting and what's your next show going to be about? And I was like, I didn't even close out the year because I was sick. I had COVID. And then I was like going through another phase of all of these things. And then I was like, hey, guess what? I know what my topic is going to be. So I started making it my point and my purpose. So happy New Year. And I'm glad you guys are all here with me. I'm so happy that we all have turned over a new calendar year, a new month, a new week, a new leaf, a new chapter, opened a new book, whatever it is that you have started for this year for yourself. Kudos to you for making or contributing to making this world a better place. And the topic came about, how heavy is your heart? So again, at judgment, it is said that our heart is weighed to that of a feather. And if your heart outweighs the feather, then you basically are doomed. And as disappointing as that sounds, I can understand why we have come to that point. Well, that type of judgment can happen. And for me, my clarity, my confirmation, my understanding, understanding of it all is that shit happens with everybody. And whether a person purposely hurts you or unintentionally hurts you, you can't or shouldn't be holding that much hurt and pain within your own being. It cripples you. It causes disease and dis-ease. It causes stress. It causes anxiety. It causes your shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It slows you down from doing, from living, from loving, from being you. You're so focused on the hurt that someone planted in your life that you can't even see that you allowed that space to be open for something to be planted, whether it was a good something or a bad something. You're so focused on that hurt, that pain, that everything negative that happened that you cannot see how you played a part in this happening. And I'm not pointing the finger and saying, hey, it's your fault for that happening. No, what I'm saying is, you opened up a space in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, your soul, and your everything for something to be put there. And then once something was put there, you nurtured its growth, whether it was in a good way or a bad way. So take accountability for the things that you play a part in, and you play a part in everything. It's not as though this happens and you had absolutely nothing to do with it. You played your part in some form, shape, or fashion. And with knowing that you played your part in some form, shape, or fashion, you understand, you understand, you overstand that, hey, had I been more in love with myself, had I been more in tune with myself, had I been more acknowledging and acceptance, had boundaries, knowing who I am, what I want, who I want, what I don't want. If you know more about you, then a lot of the heartache and pain that we are suffering from, we are struggling with, either wouldn't be happening or we'd be able to learn how to heal from it and move forward. Too often in life, we look at things that are happening and we say, these are our shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or we say, I'm sorry, something is happening on here because I'm new to, I want to say one of these platforms that I'm on, Wisdom. So it's an all audio type of thing. So I'm new to this. I don't know how to use this, so I apologize if I'm using this wrong. But I'm adding you guys so you guys can actually listen and stay tuned in with me. Oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought. But too often in life, we look at things that are happening negative aspects and we say, why me? Woe is me. This shouldn't be happening to me. I'm tired of all of these bad things happening to me and so forth. Instead of taking it and looking at it as, okay, yes, this may not be something that I want. This definitely isn't something that I want. This isn't the person that I want to be involved with, yada, yada, yada. But what experience can I learn from this? What can I learn about myself from this experience? And instead of us looking at it in that aspect, we look at it as a negative aspect, which is something already negative happening. And then we add to the negativity instead of just taking a moment to say, hey, why not I embrace myself and like go through this experience with an open mind and an open heart? Go through this experience and know that sometimes the things that we see, we recognize, we are a part of are not specifically for us. Sometimes, and in layman's terms, that means sometimes you go through shit so you can help somebody else through that same shit. It wasn't for you. You were just the person that was put here in that place, in that situation, to help somebody else that's going to cross your path and you're going to cross their path. I call that love's intersection, because this is where we meet. And in order for you to help somebody, you have to, one, be able to help yourself. You have to, two, be able to heal and grow from these experiences. And then three, you have to do it from a place of love in your heart. And if you're doing things just to be doing them, or you're doing things out of looking for something in return, then 9 times out of 10, you're not doing these things from your heart. And that, my lovely people, my lovely spirits, is creating the stress, the agony, the anxiety, the panic attacks, the woe is me, the post traumatic stress syndrome, the all of those diseases, all of that dysfunction, all of that toxicity, all of the unhealthy shit you could ever imagine. That's what's creating those things. When you need to forgive, you need to experience, when you need to live from your heart. It is the best place to start. It should be the only place that you start. Unfortunately, not all of us were dealt the hand that we could start from a place of love. And I say that because not all of us were born in a happy, 2-parent home, a happy 2-parent household, a happy, fulfilling 2-parent, relationship. You may have both of your parents, but your parents could be at odds with each other. Your parents may have lived in the same household, but they both had their own bedrooms, and they presented it as though things were good and this is how life should be, and mommy and daddy are happy with each other. But the truth of the matter is, our parents went through shit. We saw them go through some shit. We heard them go through some shit. We saw them survive some shit. And we also saw them not survive through some of the shit. And then that impacts how we are being raised. It impacts how we start living our lives. It impacts who we are at a core. And then it impacts the relationships that we have, even as a child. Coming up and experiencing, seeing all of these things, it has an impact on us. So we're left with these cards in our hand, and I suck at spades, so I'll renege on you in a hot second because I'm not a spades player. But we look at this hand that we're dealt, and then we're like, how do I use these cards? Some of us say fucking, and we throw the cards in the air, and wherever they land, however they land, that's what life is for us. And we allow that to happen, when in reality, you can pick these cards up, you can shuffle these cards around in your hand, because perspective and perception is a beautiful fucking thing. The way we see things can help us learn to navigate and play chess better, whether you know how to play chess or not, because I don't. But if you just take a moment and to just be one with who you are, be one with all the shit that you've experienced in life, and just say, hey, how did this make me? How did this break me? Was this lesson for me? Or was I experiencing this to help be a guide, a tool, a vehicle, a shoulder for somebody else because this doesn't necessarily affect me. I don't know why the hell I'm experiencing this. I can't relate. I can't connect. It doesn't resonate. There was a reason why something happened to you. There was a reason why that happened to you. And you may or may not know that reason. But I guarantee you, if you take those experiences and just love on them as best as you can, in the best ways that you can, you're going to find that that weight of the world on your shoulders, on your mind, on your heart, on your body, on your everything lifts, and you are going to feel like you definitely can fly, like the weight of that feather that you're going to be compared to on your judgment day. So that's how I came to that conclusion. That's how I got to my journey, to my point of knowing that, yes, I've experienced some horrible shit that I'm like, why am I even experiencing this? But I don't want that weight on me. I don't want that weight to slow me down. I don't want that weight to be crow's feet on my eyes because I've spent time crying over something that I can't change. It happened. Now, what the hell are we going to do with it? I don't want those frown wrinkles on my forehead. I want questionable wrinkles on my forehead, like, okay, but I want laugh lines. I want happy wrinkles. I want all of the great things to be what shines through me as I age through this journey, as I share my love, my life, my lights, my being, my spirit. Everything that I've experienced in this time, I want to be able to say, hey, it broke me at a point, but it broke me so I can pick myself up and put these pieces together again. I may have lost a feather as I'm flying through this journey. That feather was somebody else's to pick up and say, hey, an angel left me a feather and let me know that this shit is going to be okay. I'm going to get through this. This is not the end of the world. This is not the end of my world. I don't want to be nervous on my day of judgment thinking, damn, I could have forgave them. It wasn't as bad as I think it was, or as bad as it appeared to be, or, shit seems so bad when we're in it at the moment. Sometimes it seems even more horrifying once we come out of it and we look back and like, damn, did you see that? I survived that. Yes, you did. Now pat yourself on the back. Forgive yourself for putting yourself through the bullshit during the time of you being in the bullshit. And then forgive the people that were involved. It doesn't do you any good to hold on to that shit at all. You're causing yourself so much more stress, heartache, pain, misery, dysfunction, toxicity, and the list can go on and on and on and on of what you're doing to yourself by holding on to those things. Just let it go. Just let it go. And if you're finding out that it's more difficult for you to let it go than you would like it to be, then find out why you're being so rough on yourself with it. Could you have done something to change the situation? And if you can't, if you didn't, if you couldn't, if you didn't know, then let it go. Like it's serious, but it's not that serious. We're here for ourselves and we're here for each other. That's how we get through this. Let a little love in your heart for yourself first, and then make sure you add that same love and affection to other people. Reflect, project. I want to share today's cosmic energy with you all. So some cosmic energy that I want to share with you all is that today is Wednesday, and it is considered to be ruled by the planet Mercury, which is in control of your planet of communications, your mental capacity, your mental abilities, your mental capabilities. And this is one of the reasons why you hear a lot of spiritual people say when Mercury goes retrograde that shit goes haywire, because technology isn't functioning properly as it should, because technology is created by man and it's artificial intelligence. But another thing that I want to share about the cosmic energy of Wednesday is that for my spiritual people, my religious people, because these same things are talked about in both aspects, whether it's science, spirit, or religion in regular life. I love the way you speak. I could have swore I'm sorry. All of these things are shared across the board. So amethyst is a crystal, a stone, a rock. It's from the earth, and it is there for you to connect mentally and spiritually. It's a pretty little purple stone, indigo. Some say indigo. To me, indigo is blue, but amethyst is a purplish stone. It could be dark purple. It could be like a lavenderish and dark purple. But that stone is meant for you to help have some mental clarity, to help have some direction in your life, some guided communication, some guided thoughts, and your mental health, mental clarity. And another thing that I want to share about Wednesday's energy is it is also the day of the wise. And with it being the day of the wise, make sure you take some time to devote some love and affection, some compassion to your mental space, whether you meditate, you pray, you do yoga, you do Pilates, whatever that is, whatever mental health that you do, make sure you devote some extra care in this area. And also make sure you add some extra care to your gut health, because most disease, most sickness, most everything that starts in your body, it starts in your stomach. So take care of your gut health, take care of your mental health, and those things will help you take care of your heart health. And something that I recently learned that I want to share with you all, and then I am going to sign off of here after I give you some, because I have some encouragement cards. I usually don't do cards on my podcast, whether it's tarot, oracle, any of that. I normally don't do that on my podcast, but Spirit is saying share it. Sharing is caring. So drop a heart, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, drop a comment. Let's connect. But another thing that I want to share that I recently learned is I hate when I lose my train of thought. There it goes. So I didn't know that your sexual health plays a very powerful, has a very powerful influence on your heart health. And it's crazy because your sexual health typically is where you create from. And I'm not just talking about babies. I'm talking about we create businesses, services, projects, arts. Our creative function comes from our sexual energy. So if you're lacking in your ability to create, find some time to devote some love to yourself. Yes, some sexual love to yourself. If you don't have a partner, if you do have a safe partner, find some time to devote that energy with, through each other. But don't be going sharing bad energy with somebody thinking that you gonna take their good energy. No, I need you to go in clean, to receive and to give and receive some good sexual energy, so you enhance your heart energy, so you clear out your mental energy, you clear your mental spaces. So yes, please take time to take care of your gut health. It'll help keep you from getting sick. We don't need to be getting sick in times of COVID. Take care of your mental health. Today is a great day to wash your hair. Washing your hair releases those energies. For those of you who are endowed into the spiritual aspect of life, you know that you can burn your hair that comes out, those, strands that come out in your brush or your comb, burn that energy. You can flush that energy. You want to get rid of that energy in a light and love type of way. You can also do lavender oils for mental health and mental clarity and clearing out. You can do mint herbs. Those herbs are there to help you with clearing it out, because most times when you smell something minty, it's opening up, it's freshening for you. So those are things that I wanted to share with you. The card that we're going to use for our words of encouragement, these cards need to be laminated so they can shuffle better, because they're really flimsy. And while I'm shuffling these, I want to also add that one of the greatest things, or greater ways to find out the clarity of your intentions in your spirit, to keep yourself from being confused, is to connect your heart and your mind. If your heart and mind don't agree on things, then by all means, take a moment and find that bridge. Another thing you can do for mental health is a pendulum. We all have an emotional highway that goes from left to right in the frontal cortex of our brains. So watching a pendulum will help connect that emotional highway for you, so you work right brain, left brain, left brain, right brain. Well, left side, right side. But it's still left brain, left brain and right brain, because it's an actual thing. I'm just shuffling until this card comes out. I don't like to force this energy at all. And I'm just dropping in information that some people may know and some people may not know. Another thing you can do or be aware of is that, to know how strong the connection of your heart and mind operates, is that there are 4 hemispheres of the brain. There are 4 chambers of the heart. And I am going to say that and leave that part at that. And then the card that came out for today is Trust Your Soul. And the beautiful part of this all is it has feathers on the card, you guys. So that is the card. I'm going to share this in the comments for you. And I want you to, the energy that I'm feeling for this card, of the reason why Trust Your Soul came out, is because we as human beings always go against what our body says. Your soul is connected to your body. Your spirit and your soul are 2 different things. So please don't ever confuse them as the same thing. They are not. Your soul is derived by your emotions. Your spirit drives your everything. And if you cannot connect heart and mind, how in the hell do you ascend to spirit? How in the hell do you connect to soul? So I want to share that. Another thing that will help you alleviate the stress from your heart is to speak your truth. Please speak your truth. Damon, thank you so much for showing up. I love you. You are like my other opposite. So yes, please speak your truth. Don't be an ass to people. Please don't. It doesn't help the situation. It doesn't rectify anything. Now, sometimes you might have to get a bit of, a little assertive aggressive. It happens in life, because sometimes, there's those people out there that just don't understand the soft spoken. We gonna be okay, and we gonna get through this. Sometimes you gotta be, a little, hey, I said what the fuck I said. Stand your ass the fuck back and let's just be cool. So we don't have to go any further with this. There are people that are like that. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that they're wrong people. We have good and bad people in this world. And that is okay. That's a balance of life. Some, quote unquote, the people that we say are bad are here to make us better, just like we are here to make them better. So give what you want to receive. I am at 33 minutes and I am signing out of here. I wanted to cuss, but I didn't feel that it was necessary to cuss. So yes, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Tomorrow is Jupiter Thursday. So get your businesses popping, get that money pot popping, get your money jars popping. All money things are flowing tomorrow. Keep your life in sync with your heart and your mind, and it connects to your spirit. That is my peace, my love, a little bit of my light, and just a little smidget of my eternal life. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next week.